Today we're going to talk about 5 really cool metaphors to help explain EMDR therapy. Metaphor number 1 is the file cabinet metaphor. Imagine in this file cabinet are all of your files that contain all of your adverse or traumatic experiences. And in the file cabinet, it's chaotic, they're out of order, it's all jumbled and really messy. What the EMDR will do is it'll sort through your files and it'll get rid and discard what doesn't serve you, and it'll keep and organize what is adaptive information. So like a librarian organizes the library, this file cabinet metaphor is highly effective because that is how the EMDR works. Because think of it like this too, when you go to sleep at night, that rapid eye movement takes your day's materials and it's processing through. And if you're not traumatized, it'll get rid of what doesn't serve you and it'll file away what does. So that is metaphor number 1. Metaphor number 2 is the train analogy. So we often explain to clients, imagining that you're on a train. And when the train is going and there's a window outside and you're looking at still shots or particular memories that jump out at you, or sometimes there's more than one memory coming up at once, but your body's processing and digesting and breaking it down. When you're on a train, at some point the train comes to a stop and it either lets people off the train or it takes on new people. So this metaphor is like we're pausing to get off the train, we're pausing to reflect what came up during the processing, during the bilateral stimulation, and then the therapist is going to get you back on the train and you're back on the train tracks processing your memories. That is metaphor number 2. Number 3 is also one of my favorites. It's the tree analogy. So imagine our body is a tree and you have the branches that would be up top, which for the sake of this metaphor hold your memories, most of them. And then we have the bark, which is the nervous system of the body. Think of it that way. And then we have the original root at the bottom, the base, the root of where your problem began in the first place. And what the EMDR will do is it'll light up that nervous system once we activate the bilateral stimulation and pair it with a negative memory. It lights up the tree and it can light up any of the other memories in the memory bank that are stored in your body. So your body can process, break it down, metabolize the material, digest it, so that you can start to heal and let go of the emotional charges connected to those memories. So that is a really cool analogy. Number 4 is the boat metaphor. And I think it was Thomas Zimmerman, who is an EMDR therapist certified and a trainer. I heard him not too long ago explain the boat metaphor. And this is for more phase 2 of EMDR therapy. Phase 2 is preparing the client to process the memories that come in phase 4. And for this metaphor, think of it as if the person has a lot of complex traumas and they don't have a lot of resiliency or ego strength, they're not ready to process the bigger material that's going to come up. It's going to be too taxing on the nervous system. So you can't have a little life raft boat process the other material that is in the cruise ship boat. So what we do in phase 2 is we stay in this phase for as long as we need to build up the client's resiliency and ego strength with the positive resourcing, so that they can have this bandwidth to step into the trauma, and also we can pull them out and balance them if needed, because EMDR is quite powerful. We want that safety net in place. So that is metaphor number 4. And last one is like a ball of yarn. Think of it like that. Again, this ball of yarn, it contains all of your memories. And when you have trauma, it's it's chaotic, right? It's knotted, it's mangled, and what the EMDR will do is it'll start to unravel the ball of yarn slowly but surely, and you're processing along the way. You're getting rid of what doesn't serve you anymore. You're getting new insights. You might have these aha moments. You start to connect the dots as to the patterns of responses in your life. So this ball of yarn slowly over time will come undone nicely, and that right there helps the client to heal from a lot of their traumas. It won't be so overwhelming because we can titrate the EMDR. We can slow that train down if needed so that the person can effectively process the material. Because if the nervous system is too activated while processing, well, you're basically right back where the memory happened, whenever that memory happened, and it's too overwhelming for the body and the brain. So we need to slow that process down so the client can process the material effectively. So these are 5 of my best metaphors. Little disclaimer, I did not come up with these metaphors. I have heard of them through trainers and other podcasts throughout the years. I do think the tree analogy, I do like to think I came up with that one. And I actually used to explain, and I still use the tree to explain the metaphor. And I had a client who's an artist paint me a tree, and I now show that tree to my clients because they gave me permission to explain the metaphor to my clients. So if you like this video, follow along, subscribe, and let me know which metaphor was your favorite, or if you have one that I didn't list in this video. See you next time.